came here. I'm sitting there, buzzing out, but never square. It won't make or break him, so he's got to mind the best, 'cause he's a oh yes he is! Oh yes he is! He thinks he's a flower to be looked at. And when he puts his pretty light on and his right up tight, he feels that they seek him here, they seek him now, in Regent Street and Leicester Square, oh yeah. Everywhere the Carnation army marches on, each one out. All together. Oh yes he is! Oh yes he is! He thinks he is a flower to be looked at. This pleasure-seeking individual always looks his face, 'cause he's a dedicated follower of fashion. He's a dedicated follower of fashion. He's a dedicated follower of fashion. Yes, my dedicated follower of fashion here tonight. Pete Matheson, let's hear the Pete. From the dews of head creeps a crawling caterpillar. When the dawn begins to crack, it's all part of my autumn almanac. The breeze blows leaves of musty colored yellow, so I'll sweep them in my sack. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. Friday evenings, people get together, hiding from the weather. Tea and toasted lots of common fun can't compensate for lack of sun, because the summers will go la 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 la. All together. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. La 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 la. My autumn almanac. Yes, 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 it's my autumn almanac. Now I'm going to, before I take you on this perilous journey through the pages of X-Ray, I would like you to imagine at the start of this odyssey that it is a new century coming. And there is a brand new queen on the throne. This is the time when everybody's going to think the new century is going to start. Everybody is full of optimism. Are you full of optimism tonight? I think you are. All right, this is coming here. My name is of no importance. I'm a product of a century which started at the height of class-conscious imperialism and ended with a society so reduced to totalitarian commonness that in my final years at college the saying, mediocrity rises, proliferated. My generation has been taught to be so in touch with the latest fashion that we have become faceless. We are victims of design, but oddly enough, although I was taught to think of myself as a man with no face, somewhere inside my soul, I sensed that one day I might become an individual. I was born in a welfare state. Ruled by bureaucracy, controlled by civil servants, and people dressed in gray. Got no privacy, got no liberty, because the 20th century people took it all away from me. This is the 20th century, but too much aggravation. This is the age of insanity. What has become of the grief that includes Jerusalem? This is the age of insanity, a mechanical nightmare. The wonderful world of technology, made from hydrogen bomb biological warfare. Ain't got no ambition. I'm just a solution. I'm a 20th century man, but I don't wanna be here. You give me William Shakespeare. You keep all out your smart mind leaders. I'll take Rembrandt, Titian, Da Vinci, and Thomas Gainsborough. My mama says she can't understand me. She can't see my motivation. Just give me some security. I'm a paranoid schizoid product of the 20th century. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. We gotta find a solution. I'm a 20th century man, but I don't wanna die here. The 20th century man. The 20th century man. This is the 20th century, too much aggravation. This is the age of insanity. I'm a 20th century man, but I don't wanna be here. 20th century man, oh, 20th century, no 20th century man. 20th century man, I'm a 20th century man, but I don't want to be here. For anyone who doesn't know, I was born in London, England, in a small suburb of North London called Muswell. Actually, it was a place called Highgate, but we won't argue of about half a mile. But I grew up in quite a large family. I had 6 in the family, well, excluding my brother. There were 5 older sisters who were much older. They used to come home and tell me stories about when they used to go night clubbing in the West End in Soho, in central London, about this mysterious place that was run by protection rackets, the Crage Winds, people like that. But they had a wonderful time there, which worried my mother a lot. And this is the song, a child's eye view of a place I grew up, and it's an odd song. It's a song about London. There's a room in a house, in a street, in a manor, in a borough that's part of a city. that is generally referred to as an onion. It's a cruel place to be a hard place. And it is said that if you're born within the sound of the bells, you have the necessary qualifications to be christened a London. Sometimes it's a mysterious place to be a hard place. But when you think back to all the great Londoners, Hurley Kings, Barrow Boys, Arthur Daly, William Blake, Charles Dickens, Dick Whittington, the Cray Twins, through the dark alleyways and passages of London, London. But if you're ever up on Highgate Hill on a clear day, you can see right down to Leicester Square, Crystal Palace, Clapham, Palmer, right down to Streatham Hill. North and south, I feel that I'm a Londoner still. Chiswick, Bridgeton, Newham and East Ham, church bells ring out through the land. You were born in London, England. And there's a tap by a reservoir leading to a stream that turns into a river estuary that eventually opens to the sea. There's a docker by a wharf sending cargo overseas, unloading foreign trade from a large ocean vessel in the mighty metropolitan part of London. And when you think of all the Londoners still unsung, East Enders, West Enders, Oriental Enders, Fu Manchu, Jack Spot, Arthur Daly, Maxwell, the Cray Twins. There's a part of me that says get out. Then one day I hear somebody shout. Sounds to me like you come from London town. But if you're ever up on Highgate Hill on a clear day, I'll be there. Yes, I through the dark alleyways and passages of London, London. As I said, I come from this large, wonderful family. We lived in the suburbs of North London. And I had these sisters, 5 older sisters. The nearest one was about 7 years younger, older than I. And my brother, Dave, was 3 years younger than I. And he was a nuisance. When I was about 6, Dave was 3, we used to watch our sisters in the front room. We used to look through the keyhole. They brought home all their latest bebop records. They played them on the radiogram in the bay window of the front room. They put on records by Johnny Ray, Perry Como, Joe Stafford, Les Paul and Mary Ford, Kay Starr, and a wonderful singer called Hank Williams. All the girls did everything from the creep, the tango, smooch, boogie woogie to early rock and roll. One of my sisters had a record by Billy Eckstine. He was a black man with a Jewish-sounding name. And for a while, my mother refused to have this record played in the house because, according to Mum, it had sexy lyrics. I thought it was only a pop song and it would be harmless. So, when Mum wasn't there to watch over the sisters who were having a good time to this record, Dave and I would put it on and creep over to the keyhole turn the radio up full volume so the household would throb to these sexy, subversive lyrics. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. That same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. That same old tingle that I feel inside. And then that elevator starts its ride. And down I go. Round and round I go. Like a leaf that's falling inside. I think my mother was right. Later on, Dave and I brought our own records back to the front room. All our guitar heroes like Chet Atkins, Chuck Berry, Dwayne Eddy and James Burton, Leadbelly, and to us, the greatest of all, Big Bill Broomsey. All of these records played on that old radiogram in the front room. And when the school band had their first rehearsals, they all took place in that same room. For you're the lover I have waited for. You're the maze that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet, darling, round and round, up and down I go, in a spin, loving that spin I am in, under that old black magic called love. In this wonderful household, this little house in Fortis Green, Muswell Hill, in this little suburb, we used to have parties at every opportunity. And my dad in particular, the one who used to get drunk and try to imitate a man called Cab Calloway, the same in the nature. He used to drink too much and do very embarrassing things. Now I know where I got it from. But Dave and I really, still these kids in this family of adults, we decided the only way we could really make an impression on everybody was to become electric. So we went next door. I think I was about 8. Dave was, the 3 years, you can work it out, younger. We pulled our money together. Actually, I stole all of Dave's pocket money. But never mind. We went next door and bought this electrical amplifier. It's about this big, and it was covered in like a green plastic stuff. And it was 8 watts. 8 watts. If anybody doesn't know what it means, 8 watts is about as loud as a Walkman. We used to practice day and night. I let Dave be the lead guitarist because it sounded really shitty. I assumed the role of rhythm guitarist. And there we were, we used to practice in the front room. Well, one of our sisters had a boyfriend who was an usherette, he was like a bouncer or something at the dance hall up the road. And my sister Gwen, we knew she was very fickle and he was on the way out. So we blackmailed him into getting us a gig there one Saturday night with Pete Quaid, who played bass with us. We were all plugged into this green amp on the stage. No drumming yet. And there we were in front of 1,500 cynical boys. Why do audiences do that? Anyway, we were playing away. We thought we were good. We weren't very loud, but we had all this. Eventually, it didn't go down too well, and they dragged us off the stage. But we were still plugged in and still playing away. We were good old boys even then. The old green amp was an interesting thing, we kept sticking it out and we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. And we left it on the stage and it was still blowing away there. It's a good old machine. Set me free, oh, set me free. Back in the front room, partly out of the desire to sound as distorted as the fuzzy guitar on Memphis, Tennessee, which was our favourite record at the time. Partly out of frustration with Mum and Dad's radiogram, which by now, due to excessive volume, had blown a valve. Dave took some of Mum's knitting needles and stuck them into the speakers of the little green amp. He christened it the Fartbox. It's hard to explain what the front room was like, what it meant to us, because we had the parties there and we rehearsed there. They had a kind of a spiritual quality to it, because it was all the songs that were sung there over the years. All the get-togethers at Christmas and funerals. I went to a church school, St. James's Church School, but I felt more at home in the sanctity of the front room than at the church. It was like it had a special religious quality. See my friends, see my friends, playing across the river. See my friends, see my friends, playing across the river. She is gone, she is gone, and now there's no one left except my friend, playing across the river. Oh, she is gone, and now there's no one else to take her place. She is gone, and now there's no one else around except my friend, playing across the river. See my friends, see my friends, playing across the river. See my friends, see my friends, playing across the river. Muswell Hill was like a little kingdom. I was the happiest child in the world. That's why I never grew up. But to be abnormal in a child's world is not good. There was a little man I used to see walking around the streets of North London where I grew up. His head was bowed, he was forced to look at the ground before him. He had a humpback. All the kids used to laugh, including me. Somehow this little man quite a good footballer, and I sustained an injury. Kept it quiet because I didn't want to get knocked out of the first team. Eventually I went to a doctor and he said to me, "If you don't stop playing soccer, you're going to end up like that little man, Hunchback." This was a threat, but to an 11 going on 12-year-old, this can be quite devastating. So I started to imagine I was like this man. Then he became a symbol of something special to me, like a hero in many ways, because I resigned to the fact, you see, I was straight. But I knew that one day this might surface, and I would be like this little poor Hunchback. But we all know that ugliness, like beauty, is only skin deep. Shows what the world already knows. Don't rely on the physical evidence of what the X-ray picture shows. And inside every straight upright citizen, a physically impaired personality resides. Beside every crooked man stands an angel with wings, and the spirit can do wondrous things. I watched the humpback man hobble down the high street. I said a silent prayer for myself. About my physical health. I heard him ask about my family history. See, Mr. Davies, it might be hereditary. I heard him ask about my family socially. He thought it might be physical deformity. But the world only sees what it believes in is revealed in the X-ray. It only knows what it knows, photographs, video, and the printed word. Yes, there is more in this heaven and earth than what is revealed in the X-ray. I started to work out how to cope with this deformity when it eventually surfaced. Would I wake up someday and the hump would suddenly appear on my back? Would it have to be administered by a specialist? Time went by, still no hump emerged. Still a little old man walked around the streets to remind me. I thought maybe there would be side benefits, such as priority seating at football matches. I thought that this might be quite cool, a cool thing to be a cripple. But still nothing surfaced. There was no hope. I decided though, if I was going to be a cripple, I would go all the way. All the sympathy. They can photograph reality. But they can photograph your fantasies. Cause the world only sees what it believes in is revealed in the X-ray. It only knows what it knows. Photograph, video, the printed word. Yes, there is more in this heaven and earth than what is revealed in the X-ray. take the matter personally. If I was going to be a cripple on the outside, I'd be a cripple on the inside. Makes sense. So I'd be ready. And still the little old man walked around the streets. All the children laughed at him, but I didn't laugh at him anymore. I respected him. I liked his inner strength, his sense of purpose. You see, he was my partner. He was a freak. So I became. But the back stayed straight. I was almost disappointed when I didn't care after all. But the world looked down on this man. I'll never forget this passion they had with anything unusual. Freaks should be hidden away at the back of the room. But if I was going to be a freak, I would stand right out there on the stage in front of everybody. You see, the world's obsessed with physical beauty. They can photograph reality, but they can't take away your fantasy, because the world only sees what it believes and is revealed in the X-Ray. It only knows what it knows. Photographs, video, and printed word. Yes, there is more in this heaven and earth than what the scientists know, and is revealed in the X-ray. Sisters taught me all about music. My dad taught me about drinking. I was sent to art school because I wasn't considered to be practical enough to get a job in the real world. Keep it coming, man. Art school, I found art school very interesting because nobody really studied art there. There were more musicians at art school than artists. Yeah. And it was quite a sleazy place. The lowlifes went there, except me. So the thing that fascinated me about art school truly were the girls. Even though I was in a sort of big family of girls, I had a sheltered life, obviously. There was one girl who looked incredible. She looked like a continental goddess. She was very much, continental girls were very in then. And she was about 2 years older than I. Used to go to her little attic apartment. Just an attic room with a bed, a toilet, and a fridge. Everything you need. And I used to sit there for hours coaxing her to come into the bath with me. This girl was a specialist in graphics, sculpture, but when it came to me, her real specialty was humiliation. See, I know it's hard to imagine me as a scotty-faced 17-year-old. I haven't always looked this good. And this girl at school, we used to call them babes, okay? I don't want to be sexist, but it was a long time ago. But we called them chicks. I want to dedicate this next song to all the wonderful frick teasers at Art College. And I was the sort of arty-farty type who sort of tried to put their airs and graces, but these girls always put me and my kind in my place. The art school babes with their palette knives and brushes, painted faces, Egyptian eyebrows and bright red lips, pale white makeup, tight black skirts like Juliet Greco, and me giving all these pretentious chat-up lines, quoting Proust and Jean-Paul Sartre. sitting by a gas fire in a drafty bedsit. The art school babe quotes William Blake as she rolls a joint. Then I think I've scored, yeah. I make myself at home. The moon starts moving as she starts to get me stoned. I close my eyes and give in. The room goes in a spin. My lips are dry, I wander around with a ridiculous grin. I grovel on the floor, I think I can take it. Then I wake up and realize I've been kissing the refrigerator. Art school chaps, I had such creative grand illusion. My sketch pad at the ready, my eager charcoal in my hands. Boring the world for hours with political theories to impress anyone who listens while the art school babe puts another inch of makeup on her face. Arty-farty, you'll never fool your auntie, who knew you when you picked your nose and wet your pants. Yes, she did. Arty-farty, you tried to throw a party to impress your peers and strike a creative stand. Art school cad, I was really on a mission. I made my play for my art school babe by humming jazz tunes with words by Ferd and Gay. I thought I was ever so cool, but I was really such a pretentious, obvious fool for my art school baby. Thrown out of art project college because I didn't really study there hard enough, and I went back home and Davies became this incredible speed rock and roll guitarist, I think better than Eddie Cochran at the time. So I thought, okay man, play your cards right, so I joined Dave's band. We had Pete Quaife on the bass, as I said, and we took in the help of two upper-class chaps, Robert and Grenville, who were stockbrokers, who were both 6'6" tall, and thought it was a very good idea to manage a pop. But we needed a drummer. We put an ad in the NME, and a week later, a shy-looking Boy Scout from South London walked into the rehearsal room. His name was Nick Avery. Now, South Londoners are a bit strange. They're very strange people. And Mick thought we were very odd because me at art school, Dave become very flamboyant hair down his neck and wearing all these capes and had leather whips in our hands and things. The first thing Mick walked up to me, he walked up and said, I like the music. There's just one thing, I'm straight. We can soon change that. And after that it became my lifelong quest to turn him. We got a record contract, Robert and Grenville got us a record contract. And we got a 3-single deal because we weren't a great band. We were rough, we played blues music, we thought it was blues. And we had a 3-single deal. The first was a cover of a Little Richard song called Long Tall Sally. And that died at number 42. Follow-up was a song that I'd written for the band, one of the first songs I ever wrote for the band. It was called You Still Want Me. Unfortunately, nobody did. Then, as our last single, otherwise we'd be dropped from the label. We all know what that's like. It was a cruel business then.
We thought that our life as a rock band would be over. We had this one song that the audiences liked, but the record company hated. It was called You Really Got Me. Now, I'd written this song in that front room. We first played it through the green amp. And the record company hated it because it wasn't an obvious pop success. And we eventually persuaded them to let us go in the studio because it was an audience hit. They gave us a couple of $100, a 3-hour session, and said, come up with something. And so there we were on the session, ready to do You Really Got Me. Mick Avery wasn't allowed to play drums because he hadn't signed the contract yet. He may have been straight, but he was smart. We had a session drummer called Bobby Graham. He was a tremendous drummer. I can't tell you some of the records he played on, it would give it all away. But there were... Oh, shall I? I might be here tonight, you never know. When Dave played the opening chords, the session drummer, Bobby Graham, forgot the complicated introduction he had planned to play and just stumped one beat on the snare drum. As if to say to Dave, okay, Wimp, you're loud, but I'm louder. And that was exactly what I wanted. For the next 3 minutes, though, Bobby Graham was one of us. Now it was time for Dave's solo. This moment had to be right. I shouted over at Dave to give him encouragement, but I spoiled his concentration. He looked over at me with a dazed expression, as if he had done something wrong. His mouth relaxed, and he shouted out, "Fuck off!" And anyone who hears You Really Got Me to this day, if you listen carefully before the solo, you can hear others shouting that you'll hear in the distance. I stopped him playing, and I thought I'd blown it for all of us, but then Dave's eyes squinted and his face broke into that arrogant sideways smile I've learned to love and hate over the years. The little runt hadn't even heard me shout. He just thought of looking at me at the same time I thought of looking at him. Kind of strange musician's way of saying good luck. Then he gritted his teeth and sneered at me one more time before turning away to play his now legendary guitar solo. Girl, you really got me going. Let's hear it for the man. Let's hear it for Pete. Come on. Now, the one interesting thing really came out when we appeared on television. The wonderful thing that happens when you appear on television is that after that you encounter the phenomenon known as groupies. Now, a lot of people have got bad things to say about groupies, but I happen to think they fulfill a very, very valuable function. Never understood the meaning of filth in its true sense. When I was at school, teachers brainwashed me about the concept of beauty and correctness. For some reason, beauty was packaged with morality. Beauty passed exams. Filth was something that should be washed off your hands. But I soon learned that beauty sometimes contained a certain amount of imperfection. Anita was a very experienced 17-year-old. Tall, lean, and supple. It was definitely a man-woman relationship, and Anita was a stickler for jungle manners. A voodoo baby with small, hard breasts took. Life with Anita was very basic. You Tarzan, me Anita. She came from the West Country in England. In the West Country, they talk slow, like Long John Silver. And when she became romantic, her accent was twanged like a blues guitar. I knew that my life with Anita would be a learning experience. She made me believe in myself and would often give me pointers after performance. Each night I played with more confidence because of her. I actually felt that I had something more to offer the audience than just a good rhythm guitar sound. She took Purple Hearts and she drank to stay up all night. She went into Soho dancing, and when she mixed drink and drugs, she became a sex animal. I couldn't see anything wrong with that. The downside of all this was that the drinking did lead to violence. She used to beat me up a lot. And when we drank, there was wine all over the place, bottles on the floor and everything. But when she was romantic, when she was straight, there was something about her that was truly magical. Goodness is all right. There's something violent about the relationship, and I felt close to her. A true passion. It was not all wine on the wall. It was not all cuts and bruises. All the pulling out of here, all the blooding of nose, she was really animal, truly animal. But there were times when there was absolute compassion in the air. Oh, she was really animal, truly animal. But it could not compare to times she cared and was in control and less emotional. The intellect controls the spiritual. The animal reflects what's natural. Yin and yang can control man's actions. On both extremes, a natural reaction. Yeah, she was really animal, truly animal. It could not compare the time she cared. On reflection, it was not all crash and bang. Oh, broken bottles and abuse. There were sunsets on the sands, holding on to caring hands. But there were vampire fangs, 'cause the angels sang, he was yin and yang. She was really animal, truly animal, in a sense that fell into a truly natural romance. True love, true love, true love is really animal. It is time for you to stop all of your sobbing. Yes, it's time for you to stop all your sobbing. Ooh, yeah, there's one thing you gotta do to make me still want you. Gotta stop sobbing now. Yeah, stop it, stop it. You gotta stop sobbing now. Each little tear that falls from your eye makes me want to take you in my arms and tell you to stop all your sobbing. Oh yes, it's time for you to stop all of your sobbing. Yes, it's time for you to stop all of your sobbing. Ooh, there's one thing you gotta do to make me still want you. Gotta stop sobbing now. Yeah, stop it, stop it. Gotta stop sobbing now. Stop it, stop it. Gotta stop sobbing now. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Thank you, man. The Kinks record had gone in the sort of lower part of the charts, and Robert and Grenville thought it would be a very good idea. We got on a big package tour. Now, package tours, I don't know if anybody remembers package tours. I don't think you had anything like this over here. There was 6 bands on the show together, all playing about 20 minutes each, and then the big act would go on last. And in this case, it was the Beatles. Now, if anybody doesn't know this, the Beatles were very famous.
Kinks were better.
You know, that's what Dave thought. You know, you see, Dave, 17 years old, his first hit under his belt, going in the charts. Yeah, we're going to fucking blow him off stage. And I thought we could do that, and Anita convinced me I could do that. So there we were on a show with the Beatles, on before, the big slot before. And we were kind of rough and ready, and this record was just bubbling in the charts. A few people knew it, but it wasn't a hit yet. Then the Beatles were going to come backstage. During the interval, we were putting the final pieces of our stage gear into place as a photographer set up the lights at the side of the stage so he could take a picture of the Beatles as they breezed into the backstage entrance. The stage manager gave us the 2-minute warning to start our set when we heard screams from the direction of the stage door. The stage door's over there, right? Some of the crew and others hangers-on rushed across the stage and nearly knocked me over as I tried to tune up my guitar. Then there was the sound of raised northern accents and slow, deep, drawling voices, getting laughter from obvious, banal comments. The sign of a true celebrity. Just proved my point. A nervous electricity immediately went through the building. The Beatles had arrived on the premises. The stage manager delayed the start of the second half while the Beatles did their photo shoot. When it was over, the audience screamed, the house lights dimmed for the start of the second half. We waited nervously behind the curtain as the master of ceremonies went out to warm up the crowd. We were hoping there would be a warm-up for the Kinks, but instead, the audience was informed by the MC that the Beatles had arrived and would be on stage very soon. And just to make me feel completely at ease, I looked over into the wings and I saw John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Well, Mick Avery had rechristened him Paul McCocker. Think about it. They were already dressed in their famous collarless Beatles suits, ready to go on. And I was amazed how similar they looked to their wax replicas at Madame Tussauds. Then, the unbelievable happened. John Lennon walked onto the stage. He walked towards me. I held out my hand. He walked straight past me. He walked straight to my guitar that was on the stand and he touched it as if it were a rare antique. It was very strange having a Beatle touching your nose. Is this yours? John Lennon said. I have to cut that. Once my mum was finished off paying the hire purchase, yes. I thought this working class comment would impress him, but he was unmoved. Then, as John Lennon's arms raised up to brush some dandruff from my jacket, he took a little peek through the curtains at the audience. Excuse me, I said nervously. It's our turn. You're on after us. John Lennon gave a stern look down his magnificent long nose while his mouth broke into that legendary grin. With the Beatles, laddie, nobody gets a turn. You're just there to keep the crowd occupied until we go on. I got the feeling he really liked us. And as he left the stage, he threw out a parting comment. Well, lads, if you get stuck and you run out of songs to play, we'll lend you some of ours. I wanted to shout out that I didn't know any of theirs. But the lights had dimmed and the curtain started to open. An imaginary bell sounded for round one. We were on. We went through a gambit of all our blues efforts. Smokestack Lightning, our opener. And all the way through the first song, the audience was chanting, John, Paul, Ringo, George! We were supposed to play Slim Harpo's Got Love If You Want It next, and I shouted over to Dave to play You Really Got Me. Dave shouted back, what? He got the message eventually, and he turned up his amplifier, and the green amp, remember the green amp? Which was on top of an AC30 plugged in to give it, before they had fuzz boxes. They plugged in to give it that amazing farting sound. He turned it up full volume, the high-pitched frequency cut right through the screams of the Beatles fans, and for a moment, the audience was silent. As soon as Dave played the opening chords of You Really Got Me, I got the feeling the audience had been won over. It was as if we'd taken the first round off the Beatles, the World Championships of pop music. But as John Lennon and Brian Epstein watched us from the wings, as they watched us from the wings play You Really Got Me, I felt like shouting to John Lennon and Brian Epstein, this isn't one of yours, it's one of ours! Because he gets up in the morning and he goes to work at 9 and he comes back home at 5:30. It's the same train every time and his world is built round punctuality. It never fails and he's all so good. He's all so fine. He's all so healthy in his body and his mind. He's a well-respected, doing the best thing. He plays at stocks and shares, and he goes to the regatta. He adores the girl next door, but he's dying to get at her. But his mother knows the best about the matrimony stakes. Come on, but he's all so good. And he's all so fine. Yeah, and he's all so healthy in his body and his mind. He's a well-respected man about doing the best thing so conservatively. Well-respected man became the largest selling EP in British music history. Which wasn't bad because it was only a demo. And it was quite successful. And in America, a smart man called Warner Reprise decided to put this record out as a single, and it went, I think, into the American top 20. But that's not the end of the story, because all our earlier records, You Really Got Me, All Day and All the Night, Tired of Waiting for You, have been straight ahead rock and roll hits. You really got me had very few words, but well-respected man had lots of lyrics. There was one lyric in particular that really changed things for us as far as Americans were concerned. It's bad enough being called the Kinks, and the offending word was in the third verse. Let's see if you can spot the offending word. And he likes his own backyard, and he likes his fags the best. You see, I thought that fags were the things that my dad used to roll up. A Harry Rag, a cigarette. Oh, Tom is wrong. No, Tom is wrong. Tom is wrong. It's a nice old vocal whenever he gets in a big summer jam, because everyone wants to get a Harry Rag. Hey, Harry Rag, Harry Rag. Do anything just to get a Harry Rag, and then twist my stuff for the lifetime time, and roll yourself a Harry Rag and take yourself a back. Hey! Oh, smart young ladies of the land. They can't relax without the Harry in the hand, and they've all won up, and they feel so glad. Some couldn't take it, but they got the Harry Rag. Hey, Harry Rag, Harry Rag. Do anything just to get a Harry Rag, and I curse myself for the life I've led, and roll myself a Harry Rag and put myself to bed. Hey. You see, but in America, the word fag meant something else, and I didn't know that. But all of a sudden, we were getting all these invitations to play in San Francisco and LA. We want the Kinks here immediately! And it was amazing, because my dad always brought me up to see John Wayne movies and Randolph Scott. And I loved all the musicals when the men got the girl. And of course, this was a big worry for Mick Avery, who we all know was very straight. Robert and Grenville didn't see anything wrong with it. And all Dave could think of saying was, and so we were on an aeroplane. I was so desperate, though, to improve my image, I got married immediately. And 6 months after I got married, my wife gave birth to a baby. A miracle. And the baby was born just before I started on the American tour, so I was reluctant to leave, to say the least. There we were, on the airplane towards America, with all the fags and the well-respected men waiting for us. Come on. But he's all so good. Come on. then I found myself landing at Kennedy Airport. I got off the plane. America. That's how it sounds. Well, the first thing I said to anybody when I came through was to an immigration man. He looked at my passport. He was a big, fat, sort of a cowboy man. And he didn't have the hat on. First words uttered by an American to me, on an American soil, was, "Are you a Beatle or a girl?" Then I remembered all those John Wayne films I'd seen, and I thought, what would he do in a situation like that? I'm a girl. Answer! He gave me a pass for a year. Straight to immigration, easy. You see, I'd encountered all this American dreams I had. All the films, all the musicals I saw when I was a kid. All the freedom was somehow eclipsed that time I saw the films of Dallas, Lee Harvey Oswald. Kind of mixed it all up for me. And all our deals, our recording deals and publishing deals, were in a strange way being mixed up. The managers were saying one thing, other people were saying other things. We all knew that something wasn't right. So this all manifested itself in America. This land of opportunity that was somehow soured by all these other events. Land, ice cream and apple pie. Girls. And the wild west. Hey, big fat cowboy. We're in that big state sun. Hey, big fat cowboy. Holding that big six gun. Hey, big fat cowboy. Singing country or western. Hey, big fat cowboy. Is this the way that the West was won? I found myself in the big one back in Big Thunderbird with some slick looking dude who came out of a B movie. He's just like a film star, but he was a punk. The sort of person that would piss everybody off until Lee Marvin blew his brains out. The punk leaned over to me. Kinks. What kind of a motherfucking name is that? I just sat there, I didn't want to say a word. This punk was heavy. Then he picked up the car phone and dialed the number. Hey man, I got Elvis Presley's number. I fucked Ann Margaret. I was impressed. And then he dialed, "Hey, is that you, Elvis? I want to speak to the Colonel." "Jumps are at you, mother." I thought how rude this man is to speak to Elvis that way. He couldn't put anything on, could he? Then he leaned over, reached into the glove compartment, and took out a pistol. He waved it around menacingly. You see, when people deal with me, they should be right. Otherwise, they deal with this. I was glad he was only waving his pistol. He looked at me in a mean way, raised the gun, then put it away. Then he smiled. "Welcome to Illinois, the home of Middle America. Ice cream and apple pie, guns and the Wild West." All America, wise guy. White jeans that gleam in the sun, and better in a milkshake. All American dude, popcorn and a T-bone. Hot dog with a big smile and a bad attitude. Yeah! finally reached the West Coast. We were doing a TV show, one of those spectaculars with thousands of groups on. And this big fat man came over to us and looked at me in a mean way. He said, I want you to sign this contract. You see, all the things I had signed up to that time had just got me into trouble, and I refused to sign. Then he walked over to Dave and said, hey, you, sign this. And Dave just looked at him and said, fuck off. And the guy just smiled. Kinkos Pinkos, huh? Not a bunch of coming whips, are you? Well, when I file my report on you, you're never going to work in America again. You're just going to see how powerful America is and how I am. I'm going to rule you. Great American eagle swoops down from the sky up above. Great American eagle lights up the sky like the sun. Great American eagle rules with the fist, a smile and a gun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Suddenly remember the image of Lee Harvey Oswald. He was on TV in Dallas saying he was a patsy, a policeman hippie. And all those images fade into the present. In America, the land of opportunity suddenly became a distortion. I barricaded myself into the hotel room. Meanwhile, outside, work was in progress. In the land of opportunity. It was like the Costa Nostra were everywhere. We were suddenly surrounded by all these men in black suits, white shirts and black ties. Was it the CIA? Or was it the record company? In any event, it was ice cream and apple pie, guns in the Wild West. Hey, American cowboy, wearing that big Stetson. Hey, American cowboy, wearing that big six-gun. Hey, big fat cowboy, singing country and western. Hey, big fat cowboy, is this the way the West was won? Let's hear it for the man. And Robert and Grenville were sitting in their office in Carnaby Street about 6 weeks later, and a letter came through the post. Official letter. The American Musicians Union have banned the Kinks indefinitely. Well, can't say we didn't deserve it. You can't swear at a man who wants you to sign a contract. This was a different place. A land of opportunity that turned into the land of misery. Ice cream and apple pie. Guns. And the Wild West. Our influence is great here, by the way. We love you, Ray! Thank you. But you know, I was a wimp on that first tour, and I suppose, but it was I think America was a strange place then, because it was like, New York was fine, LA was fine, but in the Midwest, it was a strange place. This, I always think that my subconscious is smarter than I am, in the sense that I write songs and I don't really understand what they're about until a long time afterwards. I'm not that bright. But there was one song I was thinking about on that tour. We were in Reno on that catastrophe over tour. And nothing can go wrong in Reno, can it? But there was I thinking of home, my little refugee wife, and the little child, Louisa. And I'd written this song before I left, and it was going around my head in this hotel in Reno. When I look up from my pillow, I dream you are there with me. Though you are far away, I know you'll always be near to me. I go to sleep, sleep, and imagine that you're there with me. I go to sleep, sleep, and imagine that you're there. I look around.
Ray Davies sold out at the Academy today, New York City. Yeah.
Sleep, sleep, and imagine that you're there with me. I go to sleep, sleep, sleep. I was wrong, I will cry.